Hi everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Take 12 with Kate. Today we're going to do a bit of a cozy, unwinding kind of take 12 minutes. I don't know about you, but where I am, it's snowing right now and it's way too late for that. So I thought I'd get kind of in some nice, cozy, comfortable clothes. If you want to grab a blanket or a pillow, I've got my trusty Winnipeg Jets blanket here because hockey is one of the only things that gets me through winter. So if you want to grab something to that effect just to help make yourself more comfortable, we're going to be all on the ground today. So get prepared. If you have a mat or a towel that you want to lay down, then that's great. And we're actually going to start right on our backs. So you can just extend yourself down and then squeeze your right knee up in towards your chest. Nice and slow and controlled here, just taking some nice deep breaths. So you should feel this in your hip. You may even feel a little release in the lower back. That's great. We're going to add a little twist to this. So you're going to bring that left knee across your body. You can extend the twist by opening up through the right arm and looking back over your shoulder. And you can use your left hand to kind of anchor. All right, gently undo your twist. We're going to do one more stretch on this side. We're going to do supine figure 4. So just crossing that leg over above the knee, flex those right toes back towards you, and then thread the needle. So you can either grab the back of the thigh here or the top of the shin, depending on what suits you and your amount of mobility. And then you're going to relax your head and gently, gently pull the legs towards you, looking for a stretch along the outside of that bent leg hip here. And again, this should feel quite nice. Always working in ranges that feel nice in your body. All right, last deep breath here. And release. Just extend the legs for a moment. You can shake out the feet back and forth if you'd like. And then when you're ready, you're going to squeeze the opposite knee in towards your chest. We're going to repeat that same series on the other side. It may feel different. Most of us are not symmetrical, and that's okay. And then when you're ready, adding that twist, bringing that knee across your body, opposite direction here. You can anchor with the hand, you can look back over your shoulder to increase the twist. And you should feel this through your back and hip. You may feel your shoulder a little bit, and that's okay too. Last deep breath here. And then unwinding right into that figure 4, opposite side. So crossing that left leg over above the knee, flexing the toes back towards you, and then pick the legs up, thread the needle. Once again, it may feel a little bit different on this side. Just find a nice relaxing position there. If you want a little bit more stretch, then grabbing the top of the shin and pulling the legs towards you, but just make sure you're not all crunched up. You definitely want to have your head relaxed. If it's too tricky for you to do that, you can fold up your blanket or towel or put a higher up cushion, like a couch cushion or something under to support, but you definitely want to have your head nice and relaxed here. All right, gently release. Same thing, extend the legs. You can windshield wiper the ankles back and forth. And before we move out of this position, we're going to get into the hamstrings a little bit here. So you're going to lift up the right leg and grab behind the thigh this time. Same thing, keep your head relaxed if you can, and then you're just going to drop the knee and extend the leg. Back and forth in here. We're looking for a stretch right where your hands are, so up in the back of the leg here in the hamstrings. If this feels like too much and it's impossible for you to extend your leg, or it's too strenuous, then what you can do is just put the other foot flat on the floor with the knee bent. and working in this range in here. If this does not feel like enough, then straightening out that other leg will add to this stretch. And just making sure, if you want a little bit more, you can pull that thigh in towards you, but don't force anything. All right, we're going to change the plane of this stretch a little bit. So you're going to let your knee fall to the outside of your hip, and then same thing, straighten and bend. And you may feel a different part of your hamstrings here. There are different parts. Some of you may feel this a little bit more on the outside edge or inside edge of your hamstring. And then we're going to bring that knee across your body, so it kind of is going to sit on top of your opposite hip. And then same thing, lift and lower in here. And this one you can see I have much less range, and you may have the same. Feeling this a little bit more along the outside edge of that hamstring, or even up into the glute hip area. Last one here. All right, you can place that foot down, just let it relax for a second. And then you're going to pick up the other knee, straight on to start. Same option, you can have the right leg flat on the ground or extended, and then lift and lower in here. And then once again, you may find that one leg is a little bit more or less mobile than the other. One more. Good, all right, let the knee fall to the outside of the hip. Same thing, lift and lower in here. Last one before we bring it across. Lift, lower. So once again, looking for that stretch in the back of the leg here, not straining. Last one. Excellent news. All right, just relax there, straighten that leg out, windshield wiper. And then you're slowly going to make your way onto your tummy. So you're going to roll yourself over. And we're going to go into what we call a baby cobra. So the hands are going to be just below the shoulders here. And you're gently just going to lift the shoulders back and let them drop. Lift them back, let them drop. We're going to do 3 more times here. Last one, and then from here you're going to use your hands to push yourself right up into all fours. Just walk the knees so they're under your hips. If you have a blanket or cushion, it might be in the way here, so you can just move that aside. And then from here, you're going to let your hips fall back. So you can choose if you want a wide-legged position, place your knees on the edges of your mat or a little bit wider than your hips. If you prefer to have your knees in line with your hips, then that's fine too. You're just going to send the hips back, feeling a nice stretch in the upper back and shoulders here. Breathing through this. And then we're actually going to shift between those 2 positions. So it's called the quadruped rocker. So the quadruped position just means that you're on all fours. And you're basically going to shift back from this child's pose, for those of you who are into yoga, all the way through and up into that mini cobra. So just making sure the hands stay directly below the shoulders, knees below the hips or a little bit wider, and you're just going to shift back and forth between these 2 positions, nice and controlled, feeling the back stretching out here, shoulders working a little bit, and then feeling the upper back in this position. Let's do 2 more. And then next time you get up into all fours, you can just stay there. We're just going to articulate a little bit more through the middle part of the spine here. For those of you who are familiar with cat-cow, cat-camel, cats and dogs, whatever other version of this that you want to call it, this time you do want to make sure the knees are directly below the shoulders. You're going to tuck your chin, rounding through the spine, lift up, And then lift your head, arch your back, alternating between these two positions. I guess a hair elastic might have been a good idea for me today. One more time here. Nice and controlled, and then you can make your way to a seated position. So just bring the legs through. We're gonna go into a butterfly stretch. Just to wrap up here, so soles of the feet together. Let the hips fall where they may. Gently leaning forward, looking for a stretch in the inner thighs here. Shouldn't be too intense, but it should feel like you're doing something. Just breathing into that. Chest stays nice and tall. Shoulders back and down, so you're not crunching forward. You're hinging. You're coming from the hips. The lower back stays nice and straight. All right, last deep breath here. All right, sit however's comfortable for you. And then from there, interlacing the fingers. As we often do, we'll finish with a little upper back release here. So pushing the shoulder blades apart as you reach the arms forward. Thank you for joining us today for this cozy Take 12 with Kate. Hope you liked it and hope we see you again soon. Take care and have a great day, everybody.